Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm coming down to a little local campsite. It's in a WMA. It's like right down the road from my house. Like a 10-minute drive. And I'm coming down here to test out a new gear setup that I have. It's lighter and see if some of the reductions that I made in my backpack and some changes I've made, see if those changes will be beneficial or not. So when I was hiking on the Appalachian Trail, I had a real problem with my knees, and so I'm doing what I can to reduce the weight in my backpack. And I've also got some trekking poles, some cheap ones, to see if they're any good or not. So when I get to camp, we'll talk about what changes I've made and things like that. All right, we'll see you there. So the little spot I like to camp at, it's just right across this little creek over here. I wish I had renewed my fishing license before I came. It's been nice to do some fishing. Hey, we had a good rain last night. The water level's up. So I'm gonna take my shoes off, wade through it. Alright, well, I just waded through the creek barefoot. Water was real nice and cold, felt really good. Of course, now I'm barefoot. Allow my feet to dry. Gonna walk carefully, but this is my campsite right here. This big old rock, cool overhang. Got a pre-existing campsite with I believe it has a fire ring. I also have a geocache right here, just right up on top of that hill right there. So here's a big old rock. Cool overhang. So I'm going to set up camp here. Hang my hammock and my tarp. Build fire underneath the rock here. Pretty cool. Alright, so just got here at camp. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and check my geocache, because like I said, I have a geocache in this area. So I'm going to go check on it just for the heck of it, because I haven't been here in a few months, and just check to make sure it's okay. PC. It's just got a bunch of cool stuff in it. Looks like a great piece of lighter knot there. Fat wood, whatever you call it. It's a really good fire starter. It's an old conifer tree that is all of it's rotting away and just leaving the core. It's just filled with resin, flammable. pull some of that off right there. That resinous wood right there is burned so good. It smells good too. Alright, so this is a what's in my bag version. This is post Appalachian Trail hike. I've been hiking, camping, fishing for years and years and years. Just recently I've been wanting to do some long distance type stuff, and more specifically the Appalachian Trail. So just recently I went on a hike on the Appalachian Trail from Springer Mountain to Bly Gap, which is the Georgia-North Carolina state line. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only problem is my knees were killing me. I mean, my knees were just a real problem. So I've kind of rethought how I'm doing things as far as pack weight and stuff like that. So this is a what's in my bag version. Like I said, after I experienced a long distance hike on the Appalachian Trail, and found that I definitely had some knee problems. My knees have swelled up and were hurting real bad, and they're just now getting to the point to where, you know, they don't hurt so much anymore. And that's been a week ago since I came back. So anyway, a revision of what's in my pack. It's a lot less stuff, so let's take a look. Alright, so I still have the same bag. It's the REI Flash 50, and it's a real good bag. I've taken a lot of stuff off of it to make it as light as possible, and to reduce the cubic inches that it's capable of carrying. So the less cubic inches I have, the less things I'm going to carry. On my bag I have my bandana. Okay, food. So new type of system on my stove here. So what I'm doing here now is instead of I've gone with a alcohol stove. So I made me an alcohol stove here. This is a 1 ounce measuring cup from one of those Dayquil bottles or NyQuil bottles. Little pot stand, and homemade alcohol stove. My cup, a drinking cup from my GSI Halulite Kettlist, and a Peak 1 stainless steel pot. We'll see that in action later. All fits in pretty neatly inside of this MSR. This is like a little kitchen type thing. It had, you know, cheese board and different things like that. But anyway, I'm repurposing that for my stove. Here's my fuel, my stove fuel. It's the alcohol, methanol. My food bag. I just have about 2 days worth of food here. Still have my freezer bag method that I'm doing. So this is my freezer bag cozy. Freezer bag, my spoon. Of course, I don't go anywhere without my coffee. And this is my bear bag, or my bear rope for my bear bag. Okay, TP, necessity. This is my first aid. I could probably downsize my first aid. I mean, this is my first aid and my toiletries, so it has, you know, Gold Bond, hand sanitizer, toothpaste, toothbrush, medication. This here is a topical analgesic. That's that blue stuff right there. Soap, some dish soap. Got some wet wipes, extra batteries, things like that. Earplugs. So a lot of this stuff I could I could downsize this even better because it's pretty heavy. Water, so I've downsized my water bottles to these much more lightweight 1 liter bottles. Headlamp, same headlamp as I had before. Trash bag, this is for my pack cover. A whistle, thermometer, compass. It is about 85 degrees right now. And another thing that I've incorporated is some trekking poles. These are cheap Walmart brands. Just got these to help me decide whether or not they're going to be useful or not. Paid 20 bucks for those. If I like them, then maybe I'll go and get some better ones. Alright, so my sleeping pad, necessity, sleeping bag. It's a 45-degree bag, clothes bag. I could probably downsize my clothes bag a good bit too. This is all synthetic type material, but it's kind of heavy, so I could probably buy better stuff and have it more lightweight. Here's my tarp. I know it looks a mess, but it got rained on when I was at the AT, so I strung it up on my back porch, backyard, and let it dry. And then I just wound it up real quick to bring it with me. This is another place I could save some weight. I could get a lighter tarp. I could get a much lighter tarp. That's just money. And then here's my war bonnet Blackbird. You know, you can't get better than that as far as shelter. Alright, so that's my setup. Pretty minimalist. My belief is it's pretty minimalist, and so all told, with water and everything, food. Of course, it's only 2 days worth of food. I want to say it was like right at what, 21 pounds, something like that, for everything. So it was better than the AT, because when I went to the AT it was like 31 pounds. There's still some things I could shave off, like my electronics, for example. My first aid, my tarp, these dry bags. If I could find a better way of doing that, stuff sacks. My headlamp. You know, there's probably lighter versions, definitely lighter versions out there if I wanted to pay a little extra for it. Alright, so there's my setup. Pretty lightweight. It's definitely lightweight. Base weight is under 20 pounds. So it's like 15, 16 pounds, something like that. Base weight, without water and food and gas.